Hey, what's up, guys? How are you? Welcome back to the OS Rick Project. How are you? I hope you're having a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend, a wonderful Saturday. I don't know what you guys been up to, but I've been on vacation for the week. It was nice. Been able to wake up at 9 a.m., 10 a.m. without having to worry about work or doing anything and just staying up playing video games and going down rabbit holes on YouTube and just hanging out. It's been nice. And just getting out of the freaking the heat. August tends to be a very hot month. This year's been pretty warm. I noticed that back in April that it's just been hot, and ever since then it just kind of picked up. But anyways, guys, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Again, this is the OS Rick Project, a little podcast I do on a weekly basis where I just talk about what's going on, what I've been playing, what I've been noticing on video games and video game news, and I just kind of share it with you guys, and I hope you enjoy it. And if you do, just, share, like, tell your friends, and all that good stuff. But I'll talk about it more at the end. So what have you guys been playing? Me, lately, I've been bouncing around between Elden Ring on the PlayStation 5, which runs pretty well. I like it. I still prefer how it visually looks like on PC. And of course, that's going to vary per person, but I have a pretty decent setup, so it's able to run it really well. Again, my only issue with the PC is that sometimes it causes stuttering, which is unfortunate. It sucks. I mean, that's my only mar. It's not a perfect game, but it's a really good game, and that's honestly like my only problem, my only issue with that game. But you guys have heard me say before. On the PlayStation 5, though, it runs pretty well. Also, I do enjoy it. I have fun. You could see some load-in screens sometimes, but that's fine. The game still runs well. It looks good. It functions. I always prioritize having frame rate. That, to me, frame rate is king because the smoother it looks, the better for me. Like, graphics is okay, but if I could hit that 60 frames per second, and sometimes I could hit 120 frames per second, that's even better for me. That's what I prefer. But so on the PlayStation 5 side, I've been playing that. It's been fun, and recently I upgraded one of my pieces of equipment. I replaced my old Elgato HD 60S capture card. It was starting to give me issues where trying to stream my consoles through my PC was giving me a lot of issues with the volume, or the no volume coming through, and having to go through a whole bunch of hurdles just to make it function. And that was it's like, just to get it going, and I have a hope to get it set up right, and then disconnect something, then turn off something, toggle the switch here and there, and it was just a lot of loops I had to go through just to get it going, and it still wasn't reliable. And I would have to go in there and do some troubleshooting, and if I would to remove some of the cables, disconnect some of the USB cables from the back, it'll cause my PC to crash. And I decided that's not worth it. So during vacation, I was able to get me the latest Elgato external capture card, the HD60X, and I set it up, and it's been functioning remarkable. I love it. It's great. The only issue I had with it at the very beginning was I had to change some of the settings from the PlayStation. Put it down to, because my monitor, I use a BenQ Zowie monitor, and that just has a refresh rate of 144, and nothing fancy. It's pretty basic. But I had to go into the PlayStation and shut off the HDR, the VRR, and all those systems, because I believe it was just sending mixed messages to the capture card to the monitor, and the monitor to the capture card, and into the system. So I had to just readjust that. But once I got that set, spotless. Just great. I've been enjoying it. So I've been streaming Elgato. I've been streaming Elden Ring on the PlayStation. I love it, and I think I told you guys already. Like, I really like that game. I bought it again, another copy for the PlayStation, and I've been enjoying it. It's fun. I've been playing as an astrologer, a caster, a mage, and it is fun. It's a change of pace, because I started off as a confessor, And then I went into near the mid to late game. I went into using the Royal Greatsword, the big old two-hander, and then I kind of respect to be strength intel. And I know it sounds weird, and like I know there's like more optimal builds, but I just really liked having the Royal Greatsword and then the Moonveil for a backup for for quick slashes for quicker enemies. But on the PlayStation side, I want to be. I'm playing astrologer, but I still want a weapon, like a melee weapon in one hand, and but majority of my offense will be through spells. So I've been able to go around and pick up some stuff and playing the game different, and it's fun. I like it a lot. I didn't think I would appreciate it, but it really adds another dynamic, especially after playing the game one way. Now you get to see it in a different way, as a different role. On the another game I've been playing, 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim. And I'm kind of reluctant to call it a game because it's not really. There is it's like, honestly, if you had to put it in a box, it really is just watching an anime, a sci-fi anime, and then every once in a while you'll have the option to go do some battles here and there. And the battles is pretty basic. It's nothing too fancy. I mean, it has some nice there's some depth to it where you can upgrade your mechs. They have different abilities. There's different categories of mechs. Some do flight support, some are all-rounders, some are melee, some are support. So, and each have different abilities that you can level up, and then you get different enemy types and different win bonuses and conditions, and it works well. And the wonderful thing about it is, if you just want to play that game strictly on the story side and do minimum of the because you still have to do some of the battles, but even if you just want to do that in the minimal aspect, you could set it down to an easy difficulty that we could just steamroll through everything and get it going. Or if you want more of a challenge, you can put it on hard, so you could really push yourself if you want more of that gaming aspect. But I've just been leaving it on normal, and I don't find it to be too difficult. And I actually do enjoy the battles. It's fun. I like it. You have to plan out your attacks and plan out your teams, and then go. And it's basically just surviving, like a kind of like a horde mode. A bunch of enemies will come at you, and they're deployed all over the map, and and you got to just defend the base. But like I said, it's not all the time you have to do it. But there's some times where because you're playing around as 13 characters. You're basically just go through a revolving door of characters, and each of them, it's a progression of the story. And sometimes you have to stop and do some battles so you can go on to the next chapter of that character. So you have to do some battles along the way. But the way I've been playing it is I basically just go around each character until they are all around the same percentage, and just keep going around in circle and circle and circle. And I thought with such, I mean, the story is it gets it. I had a few of those jaw dropping moments, or the oh my god moments on that, because I'm really enjoying it, and I'm surprised I am, because I didn't think I would, even though I had to talk to my friends and see what their opinion was on it. So, because it's not my kind of cup of tea. But I've really been enjoying the story, and it's really good for the Switch. I've been playing it on that, and I think it's great. I think it's available on the PlayStation, and I think recently in April, that's when it got ported over to, I want to say, PC and Switch. So yeah, guys, I would say I would look into it. It's not much on the gaming side, but it does have a really cool story. I like it. If you like anime and sci-fi and mechs and kaijus, you might want to check it out, because I've been enjoying it. So check it out. What else, guys? So basically, yeah, just got the upgrade for my streaming setup. Thanks to you guys who help out my streams and everything, with the subs and donations and all that good stuff. So thank you guys. Y'all help out. Everything I get from that just goes into the podcast, into the stream, just to get more equipment, just to make it better. So yeah, getting that Elgato, that's fun. I'm glad I got it, because I like console gaming, but that other capture card was just too much of a hassle. So I could do more of that pretty soon. I noticed where we last left off on the previous podcast, where I was going through up to date of what's been released, and I forgot. I went up to all the way to June, so basically the first half of the year. I forgot to talk about July, which, if you think about it, there is some stuff that did come out. So let's jump into that, guys, because I didn't finish that whole conversation, and I want to just finish it. What's coming out, what has been released, and just some predictions for the rest of this year, and what I think is going to be happening for the next couple of till next year, till 2023, because we still have quite a bit to go. So in July we had Forza Horizon, the Forza Horizon 5, the Hot Wheels. I'm not into racing games, racing simulators, so I don't know how you guys feel about it. Live Alive, that came out. I enjoyed it. I've been playing that on Switch, but it's kind of taking a back seat since I'm on 13 Sentinels right now, so I'll be coming back to that one. Actually, that one's been on my radar for a while now since it got announced back on a Nintendo Switch, Nintendo Direct. I want to say it was maybe the beginning of this year when we heard about it, or in the fall. Stray, that one came out. I don't know how you guys feel about that game. My wife picked it up. She played it on the PlayStation 5. She liked it. She said she spent maybe 10 hours on that, going around trying to do as much as she could. It's a short game. I think just to complete it, it just takes 5 hours. But like I said, she went around finding all the side quests and collectibles and stuff along the way. And how do you guys feel about that game? Because I see it, and I feel like it's just kind of just very casual. Just push X to go to the next area. You're not gonna fall off any ledges, and there's some parts where you kind of have to like sneak and stealth around these little enemies. But for the most part, it doesn't feel like it's gonna be like it's meant just to like chill, just get on the couch or whatever and just hang out and play a little game. And the other thing that comes up with it that I think about is, would that game have sold or been as popular or had as much buzz around it if it wasn't a cat? Let's just say you were just a tiny robot or a little monster or a little animal, or not an animal, little something else that isn't a cat. I really feel it being a cat kind of brought more buzz to it, but I not for me. It's fine. It's cool. What else do we have in July? And then Xenoblade Chronicles 3. You guys ever played any Xenogears, Chronicles, Xenoblades? The only thing, I have very limited experience with Xenogears, Xenosaga, whatever, or Xenoblade, and it's from the games I just mentioned. I played Xenogears way back in the day. I think it was when Monolith and Squaresoft teamed up together, and they made that JRPG way back in the day. You guys know what I'm talking about. I think you play as Faye, Cyan, Bart, Rico, and that one, I remember me enjoying it very much. I thought it was cool. And you know how it is with nostalgia, guys. You want to go back and you want to like check it out again. But I feel like if I do that, it might ruin it. But I remember really enjoying that game. And I don't know how it would be possible to play it ever, which sucks because I really do feel that we are in that generation now that a lot of the old school PlayStation 1 games, SNES games, that if they do get brought over, remade for current gen consoles, current PC gaming, and for current monitors to upscale it to, for the now, I honestly believe it would be worth it, because I feel like we are far enough removed that a lot of the younger gamers probably don't even know what that is. I mean, I know I'm pretty old when it comes to the demographic for gaming. I'm on the older side. I've been there since like almost the very beginning. Well, not the very beginning, but I've been there from the Nintendo days on up. So I know I know that back in the late 90s, playing all these games that were around before a lot of the younger crowd is, I mean, if you think about it, Final Fantasy VII is older than some of the people who are listening playing video games right now. So I really feel like you could go, maybe not all of them, but some of the popular ones. But again, it kind of goes back to that statement from Yoshi P from Final Fantasy, from Squaresoft, from Square Enix. I'm sorry, how the younger generation isn't really into the whole turn-based RPG, which is unfortunate. And I talked about it last week, and I kind of want to brush up on that again because I was able to go on YouTube and watch. I forgot who it was, but they had like a list of upcoming turn-based JRPGs that will be releasing within the next 6 months to a year, and it gave me hope. It got me excited that there's that genre is still there, although it's not tied in with Final Fantasy. It's unfortunate because I still feel in my heart of hearts that Final Fantasy should stick as that genre, as a turn-based. But at the same time, I know it needs to change to upkeep. But I just don't know how. Well, no, I don't want to be a fence walker on that one. I really do feel like solid. It should just stay as turn-based JRPG. Maybe add some features to add some things to it, kind of like what they did with Final Fantasy VII Remake. In my heart of hearts, I still feel that's a turn-based RPG, although there is some, it does dip into the action part because, you did get to, hit square just to do your basic attacks, or you hit triangle to change into from soldier mode into operator mode, or mercenary mode, operator mode, where you could change, strong, heavy attacks, or, quick, fast attacks. That's cool. I like that. But when you boil it down, Final Fantasy VII Remake, you still have to treat it like a turn-based. You still have to use each member of your party to use the proper spells to stagger your opponents, and then execute and do the combos, the massive damage. So when I see the Final Fantasy 16 going more into the action base, like I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna look at it. I'm not gonna just write it off immediately. But I just really feel like alienating your older fans isn't really the way to go. But we'll see, guys. Also, we have for this year to be released is the Modern Warfare 2 remake. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but honestly, I feel that, again, guys, I'm not a fan of that of Call of Duty. I liked the last Modern Warfare they had. I enjoyed it for a little bit, but I got out of it. It's just because it just wasn't anything unique. And then, of course, they have battle passes, season passes. They just want to suck your time. There's other games to play. But with the Modern Warfare Remake 2, it really does make me just like think more about the fact that Activision Blizzard wants to do more of a just like every other year release of the CODs, and I think that's a good idea. It just feels like it's really oversaturated with the yearly release of those games, and I get it. It's not for me, and it does sell well, but Jesus Christ, it just feels like they're just pumping it out at the same time. I actually looked at somebody's review of Call of Duty Vanguard, the one that came out, the last one to come out, where you play as a sniper you play as a female sniper in the main campaign, and I don't care much about the main story, but it feels like they just changed it for I don't know what. I guess to check off some boxes. I guess is the best way to say it. That's what they did it for, just to check off some boxes and get everybody feel all inclusive in there. Okay, cool, fine, I don't care. But then when it gets to the multiplayer, which is the only thing I care about when it comes to Call of Duty, I don't give anything. I don't care when it comes to the main campaign. I don't care about the story. I don't care about these characters. I don't know who they do. I don't care. It's the multiplayer for me that's I'm gonna gravitate towards. When I noticed that they were having World War II weapons, and then they have red dot sights, I was like, I'm pretty sure those didn't exist. Maybe lasers. When did lasers come into existence? Late 70s? Maybe. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure they weren't around during the World War II eras, and not like what you think they are now. I remember being in middle school and seeing a little laser pointer, and it was like a box. It looked like a freaking pencil sharpener. You guys know what I'm talking about. So if that was in the 90s, how a laser was the size of a laser, can you imagine how big it had to be back in that day? So I don't even think they existed back then. But the fact that they're trying to put that on there, and then they try to do the whole like customize your gun. It's like, look, I'm a firearm enthusiast, guys. When I start seeing how they do with some of these weapons, I'm just thinking like, no, that wouldn't even exist. That wouldn't even work. That doesn't even function. And like, I know you gotta like suspend your sense of disbelief, but it's just, I don't know. When I start seeing just over the top, like when I just start seeing bullshit, no, cut that out. So I mean, that's another reason why I did like Modern Warfare, because they actually do use real firearms when you get to play. That's a lot better than just having made up guns in like when they do with the future CODs, or when they try to just do something that just physically is impossible with the World War settings. So I think them taking a break, it's going to be a good thing, because I just do not care about that franchise. I think it's just a blight. But you know what? If you like it, good for you. And then, of course, we got God of War 2022 as another possible big hitter for this year. Cool. I played the first one, the 2018 one. I thought it was fine. It was a cool game. But that's like the only first-party Sony studio game that I actually went through and completed, and I just once I completed the story, I was done with it. I never went back for the extra. I think it's a fine game. It's cool, and it's gonna be hype. But in my opinion, Elden Ring is still just a better game. But we'll see, right? Oh yeah, we're talking about releases. I want to talk about some big releases that came out in 2021, and I don't know how you guys feel. That's right. That's what the whole conversation it went. We're talking about game releases and what came through what might have slipped, and what we might have forgotten about. But in 2021, we had Hitman 3. My face says it all. Resident Evil 8 Village. I like that one. Loop Hero. My friend Ruben's been playing that one lately. Returnal. I played it on the PlayStation. It's a roguelike, and I think it's pretty cool, but some of the weapons I just cannot gel with. I gotta give it another try. Maybe I'll sometimes that's what I gotta do, guys. Sometimes I'll play a game, and if it doesn't click with me right away, I'll put it down for a couple of months, then I'll come back later and then try it again and see if it works. And it has happened before. It happened with Fire Emblem Three Houses. At first I didn't like it, and then I came back and enjoyed it. And there was another one. What was it? I can't think of it right now, but when I do, I'll let you know. But yeah, Returnal is pretty cool, but that game kind of just came and went. That was about it. And then yeah, they had like a recent update where you could play a co-op, but other than that, though, I mean, I haven't heard much about it from House Marquee. I think they just got picked up by Sony a couple of months ago. Death's Door came out, Age of Empires 4, Forza Horizon 5, Deathloop. What happened with Deathloop, guys? And you guys listening, y'all probably agree with me or in the same mindset where I don't think Deathloop is a 10 out of 10 game. Looking at it, it was like, okay, it's a first-person shooter. You have some special abilities like that. Well, it's from Arcane Studios, so it's kind of like Dishonored, so similar like that. And look, guys, I never played Dishonored either, but I've seen videos, I've seen people play it, right? You know, it's like another company that came with Bethesda, so like I kind of know what this is about. It looks like in place. I was like, okay, cool. But I saw that and just like, why is this a 10 out of 10 game? Why is it perfect? Like, I don't get it. Maybe I'm something from not playing it, I'm missing it. But I just felt like that game was just way overblown, way overhyped. And I know a lot of people say, well, it's because, you know, the main protagonist is a black person. Like, okay, so what does that mean? We should get 10 out of 10 just because of that? Just because of the person on the cover? Like, what's the gameplay? Gameplay is king, remember? So Deathloop, that game just kind of came and went. Like I don't know how that's a 10. You guys let me know. Metroid Dread, that was a surprisingly fun game. I like that one a lot. I played that one on my Switch. That one was pretty cool. You play it, guys. It's you get to explore and try new abilities, and you get stuck at some places. You have to go somewhere else and explore somewhere. Use your new abilities, and you think about how can I get that item, and sometimes you just gotta just wait and come back later and try to remember. Metroid Dread on the Switch, I like that one a lot. But you better be pretty good with manipulating your fingers. Sometimes I would have to just prop up my Nintendo Switch and pull out the Pro controller and play on that, because as much as I like playing handheld with my Switch, the buttons isn't really optimal if you want to be precise and move a lot and be very dexterous, because it's just not very intuitive how it works. Like if you want to do just basic simple gaming, fine, it's easy. Perfect. It works well. But Metroid Dread, you have to be able to hold this to lock, to stay in place, and to move your arm, your arm cannon, and to switch to this, and then roll, and then dive and move. Like you really have to be moving. And the Pro controller, that's where it really shines. Same like when you're playing Smash. Like I'm not gonna play Smash on the Joy Cons. I'm gonna play that on a Pro controller. At minimum Pro controller or a GameCube controller. Well, I prefer GameCube controller, but I want to play Smash, but I'll play on a Pro controller. Metroid Dread came out. That was pretty good. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. That's another one that just kind of came and went. I know my friend Ruben played it. He said the writing was pretty cool. He enjoyed it, but it came. I think it was from Crystal Dynamics, which was at the time under Square Enix. And I don't think Square Enix was happy the way it sold or something like that. So it was an action game with the Guardians of the Galaxy. Inscription. I heard my friends talk about it. I haven't played it. Far Cry 6. You guys remember that one? Again, 2021 had some games come out, but it feels like a lot of these big AAA games feel like they're just it came out, and then they're hot for a couple of weeks and then they're gone. They forget about it. And I feel like Far Cry 6 was one of those. I feel like it was too much of everything before, and it just got kind of just shuffled away. Halo Infinite. I've heard some things about that one. How they want to introduce battle passes, and it was very limited on multiplayer when it first came out. And then of course it being delayed, and then it being one of the Microsoft flagship franchises, you figured it would have been immaculate upon release, but I don't know. It's sorry to hear that that's how they're releasing that game. One of their biggest franchise game, and they're letting it go out like that. That's just that I don't know, man. Persona 5 Strikers, I enjoyed that one. That one came out on the Switch. If you guys like Musou style games and Persona, I would highly. Yes, that's the other one. Yeah, I didn't like it at first. It wasn't clicking with me at first. When I came back, I thoroughly enjoyed it. So yeah, Persona 5 Strikers. If you like Persona, and even though you're not a big fan of the Musou style, I would say play it anyway, because it is fun. It is cool to go back and see Haru and Ryuji and Yosuke and Makoto and hang out with them and go on a freaking summer trip and do the dungeons. You'll get into it, guys. You'll love it. If you love Persona 5, try out Strikers. I highly recommend it. I know it was included a couple of months ago in the PlayStation Plus subscription, so that's a way to get it, and I know it's available just about anywhere else. So Persona fans, if you're listening, try out Strikers. And I played it on the Switch, and it was fine. I enjoyed it. We had SNTV. The hell? What is that? See, I wrote something down, guys. I don't even know what it stands for. I feel bad. Then we had Ratchet and Clank 2. That game, I don't know what happened. I know people were talking about their like a rift apart. They were talking about the really push the graphics of the PlayStation and looks gonna look real pretty. They could go from scene to scene, and then that's it. Nothing. So that was 2021, guys. What is what did I put SNTV? Oh, Shin Megami Tensei 5. Duh. That one was okay. It's from Atlas, guys. I never played a Shin Megami game before. My only experience was whatever I played from Persona 5. So I kind of took a chance on this one, and I really liked it a lot. It was a fun game. It's basically it's a Persona game, and you're going around collecting demons to join your party. You got to recruit them, and then you can fuse them together, get different abilities, and you explore, and you got to recruit them, and you get different combinations when you get different. You not only do you get different abilities when you fuse the demons, but you also get other different type of demons that have different abilities, and there's just so many of them, and I was just hooked. I was hooked. I liked it a lot. I thought that was a fun game, and that was my first iteration of Shin Megami Tensei. It was 5. So playing that has got me. I know I'm going on a tangent here, guys, but it got me excited for Soul Hackers 2, which is around the corner, about to be released. I want to play that game. At first, I thought it was gonna be kind of like the other older Shin Megami games, Shin Megami Tensei games, where it's like a first person exploring dungeon crawler. And I was kind of turned off about that. I was like, oh no, I don't think I'm going to like that perspective. But then I recently saw a just a little ad for a commercial, and I saw that you're actually like it's in third party, and you get to see your whole party. You have a full party because you can see everybody, and you get to select your demons and pick the ability. I'm like, okay, I am on board. And now it's coming down to what do I want to get it on, PlayStation 5 or PC? I think I'm leaning towards PC, but I am excited for Soul Hackers, and I heard about it way back when. So it's been on my radar, and now that it's here August, it's coming out, I think sometime next week. I will be playing that one. I will be streaming it. So I'm excited for Soul Hackers 2. And you guys let me know what you think about it if you have had any experience with it. I've seen a couple of reviews here and there, but I haven't seen any videos, just the numerical scores that they've given it, which is fine. When it comes to a game that I'm super excited about, I try to watch as little as possible. But of course, when you're on Twitter and Reddit, you're just going to see, scores from different video game review sites. So that's fine. But at the end of the day, it's going to come down to how I feel about it. So I'm excited to try that out, especially coming off the heels of Shin Megami Tensei last year. And then, of course, Persona 5 and Persona 5 Strikers. So I'm just excited to play that one. And that's for 2021. So there were some games that came out, but some of them just kind of fell through the wayside, man, for real. I also believe it's just because it takes such a long time for these video games to be created, to be made, by whether it's a indie game, a small team, or big AAA with hundreds to a thousand person count of a party, that it takes so much to make them that they get consumed really, really quick, that within it takes years for them to make, but we as a consumer will get our hands on it, and in 3 weeks, maybe even less, we've already gone through the game and finished it and are moving on for the next thing. So I mean, that's another reason why it's easy for these games just to get processed and get forgotten, because there's something coming out within the next month that we forget about it. What else? And oh yeah, and let's go back one more year, guys. I totally forgot about this one. I want to talk about what came out in 2020. That was pretty big. 2020, I think, was a pretty good year. Also, we had the Resident Evil 3 remake, Final Fantasy 7 remake. We had Doom Eternal. We had Animal Crossing, Half-Life Alyx. If you guys are into the VR thing, The Last of Us 2. I don't know how you guys feel about I tried playing the first one. I just did not care. It just did not. It just felt like I was doing a freaking long escort mission. I didn't care for that game at all. And then Tulu 2, I don't know what's the hype about it, guys. Y'all let me know if I'm missing something. But I do want to play it. I do want to go back and play The Last of Us again. It'll be like third time trying to attempt it. And see what the hype is. Because like honestly, guys, I want to talk crap about this game. But I don't feel like I can until I play it. So I don't want to be that person that just talks about a game. I mean, I know I've done it before, but this game, like, I really do not care about it. And I want to play it just so I could be like, yeah, I played it. STFU. It sucks. Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima felt like it was just, if you put, it felt like it's like another open world game. I mean, I know some people, I like it. It's fine. I tried it out. It just felt like, again, what's this? Oh, hey, Jin, I need you to help my brother who's got captured by bandits. Go into their cave and save him. Okay. Then you go in there and then you find out, oh, I was in here because I was looking for an item. Then you have to go find that. And then meanwhile, you look at you're going around and just, hey, something says, come here, interact with that. And it just kind of just, like, everything's just always vying for your attention and makes you want to go and like, hey, what's here? Like, other open world games, like I could use Breath of the Wild as an example. Is it doesn't say, like, the only time it says go here is like for like the very beginning, like, here's the guardian beast, the divine beast, go find them. Okay, beyond that though, it's like, where do you want to go? Cool, you want to go over that cave and see, we'll go over the mountain and see what's over there. Yeah, go ahead. Hey, look, there's a cave. I mean, there's no indicators. You have to go find it. That's what I like about that. When a game starts to hold your hand to go everywhere, I'm like, whatever, dude, I don't care. Fall Guys, I think that one got really huge. Fall Guys, and I think that was that Phantophobia, whatever. I think those games came out at a perfect time where everybody was locked in and had to play online and had just crazy success. Hades, that was my 2020 game of the year. If you guys have not heard of Hades, it's from Supergiant Games, the guys who made Bastion, and what's the one with the little redhead? It made Bastion. Is it Pyre? They made like 3 games. So like they've made 3 other games before, but Hades is really good, guys. I would look it up. That's a gamer's game right there. Microsoft Flight Simulator, Yakuza Like a Dragon. That one I liked a lot, guys. I didn't never cared much for the Yakuza series because I don't open world beat 'em up like Grand Theft Auto style. It just was not for me. I whatever. But this one is a turn-based RPG, and Ichi just has an overactive imagination. It's so good. If you like turn-based RPGs, guys, Like a Dragon, check it out. Of course, Spider-Man Miles Morales, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Just there goes Ubisoft putting out another game. And I thought, it being Vikings, I would have been like, that's the one. I told myself when I heard that they were making it based on, off of that region and time period, I was thinking, okay, that's the one I'm going to get into. And then I just saw my friend playing it, and I was just like, this is exactly the same thing as the one before that, and the one before that one. Like, nah, I'm good. Especially after trying Ghost of Tsushima and seeing what this game's about, just like, nope. And I think I'm in a good spot for completely missing it, because I've heard some people talk about it and it's just like, bleh, whatever. And then of course, Cyberpunk 2077. Wait, did that get pushed back? It got released. No, that one came out in 2020. Yeah, so like I said, guys, I know it's easy to forget what games came out, but but you kind of have to like look back and remember, like, no, there's a lot of games that come out. You just got to remember and keep your eye out for it. I want to shift gears. I want to talk about this year so far and some predictions that I have for what's going on. And the good thing is, when you say predictions, if you're right, like, yeah, I nailed it. I knew what I'm talking about. But if you're wrong, you're like, yeah, it's just a prediction. I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't care. So saying, like, having predictions for something is pretty cool, because if you get it, great. If you don't, like, who cares? But So starting with Sony, I gotta talk about Sony too, but we'll do that after this the prediction part. So my predictions for the rest of 2022 and into early 23 for Sony is I think they're gonna focus more on their online services with their PlayStation Plus, their PlayStation subscriptions, their PlayStation Now. I believe, in my opinion, they see what Xbox is doing with all the buzz that they get on their Game Pass, and I'm pretty sure Sony sees that and is going to try to emulate that in some sort of way so they could get that kind of buzz. I know they talked about before, I think it was Jim Ryan, the CEO of Sony. I think he's CEO. I don't know if it's CEO on the America side or Japan side or something like that. I don't know how that works, but I know he's a bigwig. I know he mentioned before that, and I'm kind of paraphrasing here, guys, that first party Sony games will not be releasing day one on the PlayStation streaming services, which I don't know how I feel about that. Me personally, I haven't had any first party PlayStation developer or studio where I'm like, yes, I gotta get it day one, where I'm super hype, no matter what, I'm gonna get everything I can and learn. Like there hasn't been any of them that's came out. So for it not to come out day one of on their streaming platform, fine, I don't care. So I don't know how other people feel about it. Um, as for the whole paying for their streaming service and their higher tiers of the PlayStation Plus membership, I have the very basic version, and even then, I'm always depending on when you ask me. I could change from I don't know why I have it, or yeah, it's fine. And honestly, when I do re up on it, I usually wait during the holidays where I find something either on the Sony side, on the Sony storefront, or on the Amazon side where you could pick it up on a discount because the bulk of my gaming, guys, is on PC, and having to pay okay, what is nifty about the PlayStation Plus? Yeah, you get these every month. You get a couple extra games that are some mid games. Every once in a while you get a gem, but for the most part, you get some games that are mid that'll be released that you can add, that you can tie into your subscription. But honestly, it's probably like the cloud saves that are the best feature that I probably appreciate the most when it comes to the subscription stuff. That's the same reason when it comes to Nintendo Online, the fact that it's only $20, that's easy. I probably spend $20 on BS throughout the whole year. So just giving $20 a year so I could keep all my cloud saves is probably like the only reason. Okay, because it's cloud saving and it's dirt cheap, $20 a year. That's the only reason why I get back on the Nintendo subscription, because I don't use any of their features, and I think they're very lackluster on their features when it comes to, on the subscription side. You guys let me know what you think. But I believe Sony's going to focus more on that avenue. I think they're going to try to bring their subscription models and their streaming models up to compete to be on tier with the Xbox. Because honestly, Xbox on paper, when you look at it, that's on paper. It's great. It's great. You get all the first party day one stuff available, but the thing is, what are they releasing on day one? I don't know. What have they released? Forza, Halo. That's it. You know. But Sony, and then and I'm pretty sure they're gonna continue trying to find support on their PlayStation VR headset. I don't know how you guys feel about VR. I still feel like it's just kind of like a niche until it's just easy to play, just to hook up and connect and get in there and ready to go. I think it's always just going to be kind of just a novelty, I mean, because honestly, it's so easy just to pick up a controller, kick the button, beep, turns on, loads up. All right, get into your game, go, just play. I don't know how much how much how much of the VR has to be immersive enough to make people want to get into that. I'm pretty sure technology will finally catch up one day where it will be that way. But right now, for me, it just like it's just easy for me just get in front of my monitor and my or whether it's the PlayStation or the PC and just load it up, click, click, click. All right, play, done. So that's what I think that's going to happen with Sony on the um, Microsoft betting on Activision Blizzard for their AAA games. I know that's coming through. They've been talking about it, guys. We've been talking about it. I've been talking about it. I don't know what's going on, especially with Diablo 4 around the corner sometime next year after, and they did have that Microsoft showcase. They had a lot of stuff that's coming out within the next year. That's cool, but what has Microsoft been doing with all the the acquisitions that they've been going on? They've been so I made a list, guys, because I know they've been picking up a lot of studios, but the thing is, I figured this would have paid off by now. Like, what's coming out that's first party, that's big, that's AAA, that's causing a buzz? I haven't seen anything, guys. So you start off with they pick up ZeniMax Media, which has Bethesda, id, Arcane Studios. Then they went into Activision Blizzard. That's still in the works. I mean, that one, once that gets all settled, they're gonna get some bangers for sure. With Diablo, that's a huge franchise. And then when they get a hold of the Call of Duties, that's gonna be big for them too. Again, not for me, but for the younger, for the little Zoomers, they'll love it. They picked up Ninja Theory, which made Devil May Cry, Disney Infinity, Hellblade. Okay. Obsidian Entertainment. They had Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic, Fallout, New Vegas, South Park, The Pillars of Eternity, Outer Worlds. Okay. Outer Worlds was fun. I didn't like it on console though. The load times were atrocious. That kind of turned me off from the game. My wife played it. She loved it. In Exile, Wastelands 2 and 3. SRPG games, guys. Double Fine. I heard a lot of good things about Psychonauts, even though me just seeing it, I always thought it was kind of like an artsy fartsy game, but apparently it's a really fun platformer. So that's probably like one of the bigger games for them, most popular games. And then Grim Fandango. But yeah, they've gotten all these studios, and there's more studios they picked up over the last past years. But I just haven't seen anything from Microsoft that says I gotta get this, or I'm glad my wife has Xbox Series S, and I kid you not, guys, I've played it for Xbox Live Arcade Symphony of the Night when they had that port over. That's the only thing I've played on that console. I think I had Game Pass for a little bit. I tried it out for a month, but I went through Game Pass. Again, all these games like mid. Like, cool, I want to try it out. It's not for me. Like I don't know, man. I think I already told you guys already where. I mean, it looks good on paper, but if I'm going to get a game, it's because I'm interested and I'm looking for it. I just can't go browse and be like, oh, okay, this looks cool. Let me try this out. No, it has to be. I have to be wanting to play this game for me to spend my time on it. My time is so limited that it has to be something that I know I'm going to like or I'm looking forward to. Like if I'm just going to browse for something, like I'll just go to Netflix and do that. It's a lot easier. That way, if I don't like the show, I just, okay, done, go to the next show instead of having to wait and download something and wait for it to load and catch up. So yeah, Microsoft, they gotta get their house in order, man. Because I don't know what's coming out with them. I really don't. There's nothing that says I gotta get it from them. Nothing. And then especially with this whole acquisition of Activision Blizzard, I think it's still going. It might be finalized, but I know I don't know. It's long and drawn out. It's the paperwork. I'm sure it takes forever, and they gotta settle things. But I heard Sony was talking about like it's not fair that they're gonna get Call of Duty because that changes the way people makes their purchases, or makes people want to purchase, consoles because of that game. The franchise is so huge. It's just like, Sony, that's the game. That's the competition. That's the business. This is what you got to do. Make better games. That's it. Just make a better game. I mean, what do you want me to do? Like, you're mad because they're not. They bought a company and they're gonna put that on their platform. Like, that's why you buy it. They didn't buy it just so they can share it. And I think I saw some other things, some rebuttals from Microsoft. I think it was Phil Spencer or somebody saying like, yeah, there's no point of us just keeping it on one console. We could put it on more consoles, it'll sell more. Like, well, that's one way of thinking it, of seeing it too. Also, so. And then I think on the recently too, we saw that Sony. I think you guys can look it up, but I think I saw somewhere where Microsoft is accusing Sony of that Sony has been paying developers to not put their games on Game Pass, and it's like. It's silly that you're hearing this. It almost sounds childish that it's coming out from these corporations that they're saying this and doing these acquisitions, but these accusations. But it feels like if Sony's doing that, I don't know, give them more money to put them on your platform. I don't know how it works. I think I talked about it before, back when I think I talked about it with Ruben on the Option Select podcast. Make sure you check them out, guys. But I remember talking to him about it, how if when it comes to how it works to put other developers on the Game Pass, it varies from developer to developer, whether it's, they pay them up front or they help fund the game and then they put it there. Like, it varies. So for Microsoft to accuse Sony of paying developers not to put their stuff on there, is like, maybe you should give the developers a better incentive to put it on your Game Pass. I don't know. I mean, who cares? At the end of the day, how much money you guys are making? Enough. Just focus on games. Put stuff out. And on the Nintendo side, Nintendo is going to just keep doing Nintendo. They're going to probably keep bringing some ports over from Wii U, charge you that Nintendo tax of $59.99. Maybe some more DLC from Mario Kart. I look, as much as I enjoy Mario Kart, and I enjoy it a lot. I was there since the very first one on Super Nintendo. Playing on the Switch is great, but buying more tracks, I'm fine. Just to play older tracks, like, no, I'll just stay with the base version. I'm fine with it. So, they do kind of stuff like that, where they just kind of like bring over their old stuff or they keep adding onto their online subscription, but not adding features that you want, like voice chat or gifting games. That's what I like about Steam. I could just, if I know one of my friends wants a game, I could just go on there, gift it to them, done. I wish PlayStation, Nintendo would do that with their online features, but Nintendo isn't going to add features to their online. They're just going to add more. Hey, here's Wave Race 64. Here's some other game that aged really poorly, and we're going to put it on our online subscription for an additional $40 a year. Like, what? Like, if they kind of bundled it, like, okay, look, you gave us some Nintendo and Super Nintendo titles into the base Nintendo online services. Cool. Thank you. I appreciate it. I could go back and play A Link to the Past. One of my favorite games that I grew up with. It's actually right there, guys. If you see it, I don't know. It's blurred out, but it's there. One of my favorite games, and I'm glad I could go back there and play it. But beyond that, like, okay, now you want to charge me extra for Nintendo 64 games? There might be some Nintendo 64 games that I remember fondly, but I don't know if it's worth going back and seeing all that polygon mess. It might be one of those things where it's just better in the past and just leave it there. But yeah, that's Nintendo just being Nintendo. That's what's going to happen. What else do we want to talk about, guys? Oh, you guys notice how Square Enix has just been doing worldwide releases? Like, even a lot of Japanese developers, they just do worldwide releases. They used to be where they'd get it in their region, their area for a couple of months, and then it come here stateside. They're focusing more on a worldwide release. I've noticed that lately. So I think that for the most part is pretty good. So going back to Soul Hackers 2, it's around the corner. I'm going to pick that up. I saw some, people, some thumbnails on YouTube saying, should you buy this game? Should you buy this? Whatever, day one DLC. And regardless of the game, I just want to talk more about day one DLC. How do you guys feel about that when it comes to that? Where here is a full price game, $59.99. And look, we as consumers, like we should be. We're lucky that they still keep it at $59.99, because honestly, as big as some of these games are, they should be. They probably, and you've seen it before on the Sony side, they've gone up. But the fact that not every game has gone up, I think we're lucky that they still stay at $59.99. But when you see stuff that's coming out like day one DLC, and for the most part, like, okay, if it's something cool, sure, fine. But when I saw that they had some story chapters, some story related stuff as DLC in the game, I was like, man, that's kind of. I'm not gonna buy it. When it comes to Atlas stuff, I don't buy any. When it comes to anybody, really, I really don't buy day one DLC. I'll buy just the base version of the game, and then if I feel like I'm just like the game is really good, that I want to buy more of that stuff and support it, then I will buy the DLC. Granted, I did tell you guys I did buy another copy of Elden Ring on the PlayStation. That's because I wholeheartedly enjoy that game. I want to play it again, and I figured that'd be the best way for me to support it, is to buy another copy. But people have different ways of supporting. That's fine. But when it comes to day one DLC, it depends on what it is. It almost feels like, man, it just feels, it feels, ugh. I don't like it. It is what it is. It just feels like they're just trying to get more money out of you. And again, I know I said like the price. We're pretty fortunate the prices should be where they're at now, but when you start looking, they start nickel and diming you, and you can look at how much it is, like whether it's like stuff that you don't even need. That's the problem when it's stuff you don't even need, like just random like character voice packs, some costumes, some announcement voices, background music. It just that's fine. I just find it that stuff like that happens, and you just got to really pick and choose what you want to do with it, because. Anyways, guys, I want to talk about one more thing, and then we'll wrap it up. We're approaching an hour already, just me ranting and raving and stuff, bouncing around. I do want to talk about the NPDs, the National Purchase Diary, for the month of July. I like to look at these guys at the NPD, and just to gauge of what's been selling. The guy who runs the video game department, Matt Piscatella, follow him on Twitter, guys. He always has some good insights and predictions on what's selling, what's the best-selling consoles, best-selling games, year to date, some predictions. So check it out if you're interested in that stuff. I know I am, but it's a really useful tool when they talk about just what's been selling, because I get to gauge what's been the buzz going on. It's me also just being a fan of fighting games. This first one doesn't surprise me. Number one in July was Multiverses, the free-to-play brawler type video game from Warner Brothers. I think it's on every console. But yeah, free to play. You pick your character. They have a whole bunch of IPs from all their characters from different IPs scattered from all their stuff, and it's been getting a lot of traction, a lot of buzz. I honestly believe it's because it's free to play. It brings in a lot of people in. And I know I saw a lot of people on Twitter talking about like, oh, look how many numbers people are playing on Steam. It's breaking records. I'm like, okay, cool. That's fine. But let's look at those numbers a month from now, 2 months from now. Let's see where they're at, because yeah, it's free to play. Everybody's gonna test it out, and then they're gonna see the next battle royale or Fortnite's gonna get. Don't even get me started on Fortnite, guys. Don't even get me started on Fortnite. I'm gonna say that for next week. Okay, we'll talk about Fortnite. We'll just rant and rave. We'll talk about Fortnite and games as a service. I think I've already talked about it, but I'm going to talk about it again next week. But yeah, Multiverse is apparently a big seller, and I'm surprised it being on that list, being a free to play game. It must have generated some revenue just from all the premium passes and the, I guess, in game currency you could purchase from it. But that was the top selling game in July, followed by Elden Ring, my game. I like to think that I was a part of that. Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Again, I don't know if I would ever play those games, but it's up there. Call of Duty Vanguard, again, these games just sell. It's the Zoomers, man. The Zoomers are just playing it. I really feel like this game, this stuff is just trash. Get rid of it. Chill out. MLB The Show, Mario Kart 8. It's either Mario Kart or Smash. You're always gonna see one of those two in the top 10 on the NPDs. Digimon Survive, Minecraft, and F1 2022. F1 22. Yeah. On that list, just seeing Multiverse up there, Multiverse up there, that surprised me. I was like, wow, that's just showing you that, sometimes maybe free to play is a way to go. I don't think every fighting game should follow that model. There should be some that do, and Multiverses has proved that at least for the month of July, it does so well. Riot with their Project L coming out sometime next year, I hope. They said, I talked about it before, but Tom Cannon said that's going to be free to play. So we'll be that one's going to be unique because not only will you be bringing in people from the fighting game community, from the FGC, but you'll also be bringing in people from the League of Legends fan base. And you'll probably be bringing in fans from the Arcane Netflix show. So they have a lot of demographics, a lot of fan bases to bring into this game. So I'm pretty sure that game's going to be setting records when it comes out. But again, like everything that comes out, how is it 2 months down the road? Is it still up there? Is it still good? So we'll see. That one's going to be something that's going to be that's going to be it's going to be a cultural change. It's going to be a lot of buzz around that one. So I'm excited. I do want to play that one. I will give it a shot. I have not tried out Multiverses. Again, when it comes to brawler style fighting games, I'm going to play Smash. That's just me personally, hands down. I mean, free to play, cool. I don't care. Elden Ring up there too. It's been crazy. I actually went back recently and started playing Sekiro, and I'm at the point now where I'm bouncing. I'm trying to kill either the Red Demon of Hatred and Owl Father. And Jesus Christ, I remember how tough they are. I thought I was pretty good because I fought some bosses and I killed them within my first or second attempt. I was like, wow, I struggled the first time coming around. But those two bosses, no, they humble me real quick. So, but going back to Sekiro, especially fresh off the heels of Elden Ring, has been great. So, yeah. So Elden Ring, I'm glad it's still up there. And as for the rest of them, you guys can tell I'm biased, right? As for the rest of them, that's cool. That's great. COD Vanguard, that's always going to be up there. Xenoblade Chronicles. There's no interest. I have no interest, honestly, guys. And then Mario Kart 8. I wouldn't be surprised with the recent release of the DLC. That might have helped increase some of the sales. So I think that's about it, guys. Oh, before I go, guys, I do want to talk about, I did get this in the mail, the Street Fighter X Secret Lair stuff came out. I went over the cards. I talked about it. I did it I had a little video, so you guys want to check it out, go to my YouTube and you guys could see more details there. But I talk about the cards and what's going on. And, I like Magic. I liked Magic. It was one of my favorite games growing up. I thought it was really fun. And then Street Fighter, of course, you guys know me, that Street Fighter just will always be a spot in my heart for that franchise. For both of those games, they were one of my first games ever that I enjoyed. So when I see them do a little crossover, I thought it was cool. And having the wifey 3D print me a little frame so I could put it right here on the bookshelf in the back, guys. I'll show you. I'll put some more pictures out there. But yeah, check out that video if you're a fan of Magic or Street Fighter and just kind of want to see that. It was fun doing it, and maybe I'll do some more stuff like that. But as for this week, guys, we're over an hour. I think that's it. I want to talk about some other stuff later. I want to talk more about games of a service, and I'm gonna try not to sound like too whiny about it, because I know I'm not the only one that does it. I'm not sure I'm not the only one that does. But I want to say, guys, thank you again for hanging out. I really appreciate it. Vacation's done. We'll go back to work on Monday, but I have another vacation in October. And of course, the podcast will still be coming out on a weekly basis. So make sure to stop by and listen in and give me your opinion. Drop a line. And if you guys really want to help out and support, there's a little donation button on the page. Or if you want to come by and say hello, make sure you check out my Twitch stream. Twitch.tv OS_R1CK. Come by and say hello. I love streaming, guys, and I love it when you guys drop by and say hello and chit chat and be silly, whether I'm playing fighting games or FromSoft games or RPGs, whatever. Just drop by, guys. Say hello. That's the best part about streaming, is when I get to hang out with you guys. So yeah, if you guys want to reach me, Twitter is probably the best place. Just get my handle, OS_R1CK, at me if you want. We'll talk about things, be civil, discuss things. I mean, there's some things I don't like that you do. Hey, give me your point of give me your point of view, give me your perspective, give me your points, because maybe I'll see something that I'm not. Because this is just all one-sided. When I talk to you guys, I'm just looking at my camera lens and I'm just projecting everything. So it's all one-sided, and I don't mind it. Some feedback here and there, but. Guys, get some rest. Enjoy the rest of your week, the rest of your weekend. Chill, relax, take care of yourselves, eat right, get some exercise, get lots of sleep. Lots of sleep, okay? It's very important. And just take care of yourselves, guys, and enjoy your gaming. Have fun, regardless of what I said about your games. Maybe maybe I don't like the game that you're playing, but you know what? I do love video games a lot. That's why I feel like that's why I like critiquing games, because it's something that I'm so passionate about, that I like, that I want to push on it and see it from a different angle and talk about it, because it's just something I like. And that's another reason why I want y'all's input, because I'm sure you guys probably feel the same way. Y'all love something and maybe I don't, and just show me and show me the light, show me the way. But anyways, guys, I'm done for tonight. Enjoy your day. Have fun. Take care of yourselves. And I will see ya next time. Love you. Bye. See ya.